but finally standing still. You are lying in the dark, staring at the ceiling, wondering why you have done everything you were supposed to do. Yet there is still a heavy, hollow exhaustion sitting right in the middle of your chest. You are running as fast as you can, but it feels like you are sinking deeper into an invisible quicksand, suffocating under the weight of an invisible demand. If you are tired of carrying this unseen burden, stay with me and consider subscribing to the Psyche Unfolding channel, so we can explore the quiet spaces of the mind together. I know exactly how that exhaustion feels, because I have walked that very same road. It is not the physical tiredness that comes from walking 10 kilometers through the hills or carrying a heavy load of firewood. Physical fatigue is honest. It asks for a few hours of sleep and then vanishes. No, what you are feeling is a deep, bone-numbing fatigue of the spirit. You wake up every morning like a tightly wound clockwork mechanism. Before your eyes even fully open, the gears start snapping into place, ticking away the hours, driven by a nameless panic that you are already falling behind. You look around and see everyone else rushing down a foggy forest road, grabbing desperately at invisible prizes in the mist, and so you run too. You believe the stories the world tells you. You believe that if you just acquire a little more security, a little more admiration, a little more power, that hollow ache will finally go away. But it never does. It is like trying to fill a wooden bucket that has a massive, jagged crack down its side. No matter how many liters of water you pour into it, no matter how frantically you try to keep it full, the bottom remains dry, and your terrible thirst remains unquenched. We live in a constant, agonizing state of hunger. We are terrified of not having enough, of not being enough, of fading into obscurity. We build massive, complex structures in our lives, hoarding resources, chasing intense thrills, and seeking the loud applause of people we do not even know, all to shield ourselves from a deep-seated fear of pain and emptiness. I want you to observe your own mind when you finally get the thing you wanted so badly. You fought for it, you sacrificed your peace for it, and now you hold it in your hands. You feel a brief, fleeting rush of pleasure, a momentary spike of triumph. And then, almost instantly, a dark shadow creeps over the edge of your mind. It is the fear of losing what you just gained. It is the sudden, crushing realization that this new prize did not fix the emptiness inside you. And so the frantic cycle begins all over again. You set a new, higher goal. You look for a sharper, more dangerous thrill. You build a thicker, taller wall around yourself. Your life becomes a stormy sea, and you are constantly treading water, swallowing bitter salt, terrified that if you stop moving your arms for just one single second, you will drown in your own perceived inadequacy. Your shoulders are permanently tight. Your breath is shallow and trapped in your throat. You have become a prisoner of your own endless, ravenous wanting. This is the secret, quiet tragedy of the human mind. We are utterly convinced that the opposite of pain is extreme pleasure, intense excitement, and overwhelming abundance. We think that to escape the freezing cold of our anxiety, we must throw ourselves directly into a blazing, uncontrollable fire. But I have seen that this fire only consumes us faster. We wear ourselves down to the bone, chasing after phantoms, chasing illusions of happiness that dissolve into smoke the very moment our fingers try to close around them. We tell ourselves a dangerous lie. We say that once we reach a certain level of comfort, once we hit a specific milestone, we will finally rest. But the finish line is a mirage. It keeps moving. The horizon retreats exactly as fast as we approach it. We spend our entire existence leaning forward, leaning so far into the future that we are perpetually off balance. And all the while, the real, breathing moments of your life are slipping through your fingers like fine, dry sand. You are missing your own existence because you are completely absorbed in preparing to live. Let us stop for a moment. Just breathe. I want you to step off that foggy, frantic road. Come with me to the quiet edge of the woods, far away from the rushing crowd and their loud, desperate voices. Let us look at what is really happening inside you. What if the reason you are so unimaginably tired is not because you are failing to reach your goals, but because you are running a race that was never meant to be won? What if your suffering is simply the result of a profound misunderstanding of what your body and your soul actually need to be at peace? When we strip away all the noise, all the societal expectations, and all the desperate grasping, the architecture of human happiness is shockingly simple. It is like an abandoned house in the dead of winter. You do not need solid gold plates on the dining table or rare silk tapestries on the walls to be truly happy inside it. You just need a solid roof to keep the freezing rain out, a warm fire crackling in the hearth, and a deep sense of safety within its sturdy walls. Everything else is just heavy, expensive decoration that you have to spend your precious, irreplaceable life energy maintaining and guarding. I have spent years observing this, and I have realized that our human desires fall into very distinct, predictable categories. First, there are the things we truly biologically need to survive and to feel at peace in our bodies. A thick crust of bread when our stomachs ache with hunger. A glass of clean, cool water when our throats are parched. A safe, dry place to sleep when the night falls. The honest, quiet companionship of a trusted friend who does not ask you to perform. These things are entirely natural, and they are absolutely necessary. The beautiful, liberating truth about these natural needs is that they are incredibly easy to satisfy. Your physical body possesses a deep, instinctive intelligence. Your body knows exactly when it has had enough water. Your body knows exactly when it is warm. When these basic grounded needs are met, your physical pain disappears. And the absence of pain is not just a dull, neutral state. We have been falsely conditioned to believe that a calm life is a dead life, that peace is boring. We have become addicted to the sharp spikes of adrenaline and chaos. But when you truly experience the absence of pain, you discover that it is the very foundation of a profound quiet and unshakable joy. But our minds are tricky, and we soon develop other desires. We develop desires that are natural, but completely unnecessary. This is the desire not just for nourishing food, but for the most decadent, elaborate feasts. The desire not just for warm clothing, but for garments that loudly signal our superiority to everyone around us. These desires are dangerous because they masquerade as genuine needs. They trick our brains. But unlike natural needs, these desires are entirely endless. There is always a richer meal to eat, a finer coat to wear. If you condition your daily happiness on always having the finest, most luxurious things, you make your soul exceptionally fragile. You tie your peace of mind to external circumstances that you absolutely cannot control. You hand the keys to your happiness over to the unpredictable whims of the world. And finally, there are the worst desires of all. The desires that are neither natural nor necessary. The desperate, burning craving for universal fame, for infinite power, for boundless wealth. These are the ghosts that violently haunt our minds. They do not come from our bodies. They are entirely constructed by the noisy, competitive world around us. They are a bottomless pit that can never be filled. You can pour your entire life, your health, and your youth into the pursuit of absolute power or the admiration of strangers, and you will still die exhausted and utterly empty. These vain, empty desires are the absolute root of your anxiety. They are the heavy, invisible iron chains pulling tight across your chest right now. I want you to vividly imagine taking a sharp, heavy knife and cutting those chains one by one. You do not need to be admired by 1,000 strangers to feel complete. You do not need to build a massive empire to justify your existence on this earth. Your worth as a human being is not measured by the extreme intensity of your pleasures or the towering height of your achievements. True, lasting freedom begins the exact moment you realize how little you actually need to be completely, unshakably content. Think back to the most profound moments of peace in your entire life. I guarantee you they were rarely loud, expensive, or complicated. They were devastatingly simple. The feeling of the gentle morning sun warming your face after a long, dark winter. The honest taste of fresh bread when you were truly hungry. The quiet, unspoken understanding between you and someone you love, sitting in a softly lit room where no one feels the pressure to say a single word. These are not minor consolations for those who failed to achieve greatness. These are the ultimate achievements of a life well lived. This is the absolute highest form of wealth. To be able to sit in a quiet room, completely undisturbed, by the frantic, screaming desires of the world outside, is a rare superpower. It is the mental state of a vast, calm, clear lake reflecting the open sky, completely unbothered by the turbulent winds howling in the distance. When you learn to rigorously separate what is necessary from what is vain, a tremendous healing silence falls over your mind. The daily panic slowly subsides. You suddenly realize that you no longer have to protect a massive, fragile ego. You no longer have to stand guard over mountains of unnecessary possessions and complicated social statuses. You become light. You become untouchable. If this profound realization brings a sense of quiet to your tired mind, please subscribe to the Psyche Unfolding channel so we can continue to walk this peaceful, illuminated path together. We can learn to carefully cultivate this quiet garden of the mind, safely walled off from the violent storms of endless wanting. You have permission to step away from the chaotic marketplace of human ambition. You can actively choose to be satisfied right here, right now. I want you to physically feel this letting go. Right now, wherever you are listening to my voice, I want you to imagine that heavy, overstuffed backpack you have been carrying for so many long years. The one filled to the brim with the heavy rocks of other people's expectations, the crushing iron weights of your own endless demands, the sharp, jagged stones of your anxieties about the future. You have carried it for so long, up so many steep hills, that you actually forgot you were wearing it. It has bent your spine, restricted your breathing, and completely exhausted your spirit. Now, take a slow, deep breath in and let that backpack slip off your tired shoulders. Hear it hit the solid ground with a heavy final thud. Feel the sudden, beautiful, floating lightness in your body. Roll your shoulders back. Stand up completely straight. You do not have to carry it anymore. You do not have to run anymore. You have enough. You do enough. You are enough. The simple, rhythmic warmth of your own breath, the steady, reliable beating of your own heart, the quiet, peaceful evening waiting patiently outside your window. This is all there really is, and it is perfectly, absolutely enough. Rest in this quiet place. You have finally arrived home.